The European blonde bombshell, Ursula Andress was born on March 19, 1936, in Ostermundigen, which is in the Swiss canton of Bern. She was a Swiss actress and model. Miss Andress' breakthrough role was as Bond girl, Honey Rider, in the first James Bond film, Dr. No, in 1962, which made her an international sex symbol. She has appeared in quite a number of American, British and Italian films. According to IMDb, as of 2021, out of the 5 awards she was nominated for, Ursula Andress won 3 of them, including 1 Golden Globe Award for her role in Dr. No. Unfortunately, she was never nominated for an Oscar. Although she had many notable partners, Ursula Andress was only married once, and that was to John Derek, a prominent Hollywood figure. They were married in 1957. Later on in life, she would describe her wedding to John Derek as a nightmare, marrying him in a small Las Vegas chapel, with a cab driver as their best man, and a ring that did not fit. They divorced in 1966. From 1979 to 1983, she and Harry Hamlin had a long-term romantic relationship. Harry Hamlin is 15 years younger than Miss Andress. On May 19, 1980, at age 43, Ursula gave birth to her only child, Dmitry Alexander Hamlin. As said earlier, Ursula had many notable partners, and garnered the reputation of being a homewrecker. Her mother, Anna, was Swiss, and her father, Rolf Andress, was German. The couple had a total of 6 children, and Ursula was the 3rd child. Ursula had 4 sisters and 1 brother. Her mother, Anna, was of French and Italian descent. Her father, Rolf, was a German diplomat, and was expelled from Switzerland, for political reasons. Ursula and her 5 siblings stayed in Bern, and were brought up by their maternal grandparents. Rolf Andress disappeared without a trace during World War II. Miss Andress speaks several languages including French, German and Italian. She speaks English with a heavy Swiss and German accent. Even at an early age, Ursula has had a wild streak in her. As an example, at age 17, she was tracked down by Interpol for running away from boarding school. Miss Andress left Switzerland, and studied painting, sculpture, art, and dance, in Paris, for a year. Next year, and at age 18, she went to Rome, Italy. Due to being a stunning young woman, Ursula also found work as an art model in Rome. She also had walk-on parts in 3 Italian films. Those 3 Italian films were An American in Rome, in 1954, The Sins of Casanova, in 1955, and La Catena dell'Odio, also in 1955. She was seen by a Hollywood executive, who persuaded her to try her luck in Hollywood. Despite hardly speaking any English, Ursula Andress went to Hollywood in 1955. She had a 4-month fling with rising star, James Dean, but, otherwise, her career was going nowhere. At age 19, she met and had an affair with fading matinee idol, John Derek, who left his wife and 2 kids for. In 1957, Ursula and John eloped to Las Vegas. Ursula then put her acting aspirations on hold for a few years. In 1962, Miss Andress was still relatively unknown, but played opposite Sean Connery, in Dr. No. Dr. No was the first serious movie adaptation of Ian Fleming's James Bond espionage novels. Miss Andress' role as bikini-clad shell diver, Honey Rider, was relatively brief. Her Swiss and German accent was so thick, that her entire performance had to be dubbed over. Nevertheless, her striking good looks and smoldering screen presence made a strong impression on moviegoers, immediately establishing her as one of the most desired women in the world. Her scene of rising out of the Caribbean Sea, in a white bikini, sporting a large diving knife on her hip, made her the quintessential Bond girl. Miss Andress would later state that she owed her career to that white bikini. Soon afterwards, she did not have trouble landing roles in Hollywood. In several of these films, she worked with many other fellow Bond girls. In 1963, she starred with Elvis Presley in the movie Fun in Acapulco. During the shoot of the film, she relentlessly flirted with Elvis, but, funny thing is, he rejected her advances. Also in 1963, She starred with other Hollywood legends, Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, and Anita Ekberg, in the film, Four for Texas. 1965 was a very active year for Ursula Andress. The film, Nightmare in the Sun, was released in that year. In it, Ursula co-starred with her husband, John Derek. However, by the time the movie was in production and released, John and Ursula had already separated. Playboy published nude photographs of her from Nightmare in the Sun. This was the first of 7 times she would appear in Playboy magazine, over the next 15 years. In the 1965 film, Ursula Andress plays an immortal queen, named Aisha. The film was made by legendary British horror producer, Hammer Films, and by Seven Arts Production. Also in 1965, Ursula was one of several European starlets to co-star in What's New Pussycat. The film's title song was sung by Tom Jones. Miss Andress appeared in many more racy for their time films, in both the United States and Europe. She starred in the 1965 Italian sci-fi film, The 10th Victim. Her co-star was Marcello Mastroianni, who had co-starred with Sophia Loren in many Italian films. In the 1966 film, The Blue Max, Ursula was cast as the sultry, insatiable wife of an aristocratic World War I German general. As trivia, she turned down Raquel Welch's role in the 1966 movie, 1 Million Years BC. The movie that made Raquel Welch an international sex symbol. In 1967, she starred in the James Bond satire and parody film, Casino Royale. This film was released 2 months prior to the 5th Bond movie, You Only Live Twice. In 1968, she played in yet another Italian movie, called Anyone Can Play. She appeared nude, or semi-nude, in the majority of her films, from 1969 to 1979, making her get the nickname, Ursula Andress. In 1969, she acted in the movie, The Southern Star, which is a diamond search adventure, taking place in West Africa. She acted in Perfect Friday, a 1970 heist movie. She played as a prostitute who was kidnapped by outlaws in the 1971 Western film, Red Sun, which was filmed in Spain. She starred in the 1975 Italian crime film, Loaded Guns, where she played the part of a flight attendant. Also in 1975, she played the part of a titillating nurse, in the Italian movie, The Sensuous Nurse. In the 1978 cult film, Slave of the Cannibal God, Ursula was notoriously stripped and slathered in orange paint. In the 1979 film, The Fifth Musketeer, she played the part of Louise de la Vallière, who was the conspiratorial mistress of King Louis XIV. In 1981, both Ursula Andress and Harry Hamlin co-starred in the movie, Clash of the Titans, where Ursula, of course, played the part of the Greek goddess, Aphrodite. After the birth of her son in 1980, Miss Andress scaled back her career, to focus on raising her son, mostly in Italy. She played the part of Mabel Dodge in the adventure drama movie, Red Bells, which was released in 1982. In the 80s, she guest-starred in a number of TV shows, including Falcon Crest, Manimal, and The Love Boat. In 1986, she also guest-starred in the Emmy-winning miniseries, Peter the Great. As of 2021, she last worked on a low-budget 2005 Swiss movie, whose English title is The Bird Preachers. Ursula Andress was the first, and quintessential, Bond girl. In her 5 decades-long career, she was the European blonde bombshell starlet, starring in many racy movies. Thank you for watching. Hope you found this video informative, and entertaining. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment. We do like to know, and hear your feedback. We also have merchandise, available for purchase, on our Teespring store. Link to our store, is in the description section below. And, if you have the means, please consider supporting us on Patreon, where we post bonus material. Till next time, this is the Peeping Loony, saying cheers, and have a good day.